before the 90s, the people used to just bring the timber to site and they build the trusses on site. And is that after the 90s that the timber truss is getting prefabricated in the factories?
Well, in the when I did my apprenticeship back in the early 70s, we did everything by hand. So it was.
Excuse me, what did you think of roof trusses when they first came about?
I thought they were an inferior product, actually.
Hi everyone, this is Trista from ABPA.
Hi, I'm Tanya from BB Truss and Timber.
And hi, I'm Jeff from BB Truss and Timber. I'm Tanya's husband and we work together.
So Jeff and Tanya, what inspired you to start this BB Truss business back in 30 or more than 30 years ago?
I started the business back in the late 1980s in partnership with my brother, and that's where the two Bs come from.
Carpenters?
We're
Your
both
father
carpenters.
was a builder?
We come from a building background. We were carpenters by trade. We did our apprenticeship with our father, and we began the business manufacturing roof trusses in the late 1980s, and my brother continued to build houses in that time, and then I met Tanya in the early 90s, and then in the late 1990s my brother had become disillusioned with the truss business, and Tanya and I were together, so we bought my brother out at that time, and then we've continued on in the same vein ever since that day. In the last couple of years, we're always looking for opportunities to be able to extend and expand our business, to be able to give our customer base a better offering, and that's why about 5 years ago now we began doing structural steel with welding, because we could see there was a demand. We manufacture a lot of steel webbed floor joists, and we could see there was a lot of issues between what we supplied and what was on site with the builder, having trouble with two different suppliers, and we thought we can do this better. And since then, that's become a major part of our business. In fact, we are building a new factory right this moment to produce that product at a much more efficient and quicker pace. And we've just put in quite a lot of robotic equipment to be able to do that, to be able to make it fast, efficient, and accurate. And that's our goal with that product.
Let's speak a little bit backwards. So during COVID, I know that timber was really something that's hard to get, and what challenges did you have, and how did you handle it?
The biggest challenge probably was material supply, being pine supply and also LVL. But because we've been able to forge good relationships with our suppliers, the local mills in Australia, and also our main supplier from Europe, we were quite comfortable with our supply. We weren't as comfortable with the stock levels that we were holding, but we were able to maintain a constant flow of material flowing through the factory. The LVL, when that became an issue, and that was a real issue, because the LVL manufacturer in Australia decided not to produce some products that were vital to the truss making industry, and Felix made contact then with his company Oz LVL, and I contacted Felix, replied to his call, and that's a couple of years ago now, and that's why I met Felix at his warehouse, and I had a look at his product, and I just said, we'll take the lot. So he Felix solved a major problem for us at that time with the LVL.
What you provide and what you do, what kind of products have you got with the timber trusses and the steel frames that you've just mentioned, and what's your target market? Is that custom home, commercial projects, or volume residential projects?
Well, we manufacture wall frames, multi-strut floor joists and roof trusses, and we also do the structural steel, but supply and install with the steel, and that goes to, we'll supply any builders, domestic mainly. We don't really look to do commercial work. It's mainly the smaller builder that we look after, the luxury home market or the multi-story timber frame dwelling, not really large concrete structures, which that suits our market. We like complex homes where we do a lot of what we would call like a French provincial type home. There's a lot of timber in there, and that gets down. There's a lot of expertise in the detailing of those jobs. You need good detailers, which we've got, and we've had some of our detailers have been working with us for well in excess of 20 years. And then we also need good equipment in our factory to be able to manufacture that complex type of roof truss.
And if it's a large size roof, we're able to accommodate that as well.
We do, because our equipment is large. We've got a big array of manufacturing machinery at the factory, and so we can do everything from a really large job to very small, and we like them all. We've also, because we do have our own transport, we've also got our own trailers. Each prime mover's got 2 trailers, so when one's out delivering, its backup one's getting loaded, so when it gets back it's just unhitch and then go again, because a lot of our we do 2 loads into Melbourne, our trucks each day, but also to cater for those larger span trusses, we have our own extendable trailer that can extend right out to about 23 metres, and there's very few trusses are made of that size, you know. So yeah.
What advantage do you think that makes you outweigh your competitors?
It's the steel.
It's the steel. That's correct. And but the customer, rather than have to deal with two completely independent suppliers who struggle working in conjunction with each other, they can come in. And we've got all that structural steel, and also we do the wall frames, the multi-strut floor joists, and the roof trusses, and that about sums us up. Yeah. We try and keep it simple. It's not a sexy industry, but it's a basic, and it's something that you have to have. Yeah.
How do you see the market during COVID, after and now, maybe next year or the coming years? How do you see the markets going?
Since COVID, during COVID
was good.
Early COVID, we thought that everyone might have been in dire straits. I think where every business had that same feeling. But as it turned out, it wasn't like that. It was a boom period actually, which was really good for us. And we're very fortunate in Victoria to be able to continue working, because we were seen as a necessary industry. The roads were nice and quiet for our drivers. I know they appreciated it. Since then, the market has quietened off, but it's been I've seen a lot of market over the period of time I've been in business, and I've seen ups and downs, which you always get in business. And this downturn is not what some have been in the past, but I see that the future is really promising. In fact,
look forward to it.
There's a demand for new homes, and the minute that comes on board, we look forward to supplying that market once again. You know, yeah.
Jeff and Tanya, how many employees have you got at the moment?
We've got around about 100 employees overall. Yeah. It keeps us busy. But at the same time, we've got some fabulous people who work for us, some of them have been with us for a long time, and some of our people here at the Keilor Park, in fact all our officers, so a couple of people who work for us over a number of years at the Bendigo factory are just amazing. They're really amazing, and they work for us from their heart, and we really appreciate that commitment and what we've been able to build with them together.
You have a motto with the steel, don't you, Jeff? What's your steel motto?
We get the connection.
And what does that mean?
Well, we understand the connection between the timber and the steel, because that's not an easy thing, because most of the steel fabricators, they haven't got an understanding of how the connection. We've got one company that deals with one product, another company that deals with another one. timber and steel. Whereas because we deal with both, our detailers are working on the same job, be it steel and timber at the same time. So we've got an understanding of how that goes. We do, we get the connection, yes. And so with the installation, we also set when we find the slab on the site, we actually set the job out. And we put the steel up first, and then the timber framing goes to that. In addition to that, all steel beams, most of them, if there's timber joists running into those, they'll require a timber infill, which is normally done by an on-site carpenter, and he's working up above his head or around head height, which is not easy. Whereas because we design the job and we understand the timber and the steel as a combination, we do the infills. That's all done in our factory. So when it goes to site, that's less work on site for the on-site trades.
Factory fitted timber infills.
That's right.